Hey folks, it is Archelaus here, and today we're going to talk about more why do we limit love in the form of one-night stands and other non-monogamous sexual encounters. So I thought that this was a great topic because there is this stigma that if you're only connecting with someone once, or it's like after a night of, you've been at a party or something, that's a wrong, and that we should feel bad about that, and that nothing good can come of that, and it's not as highly honorable as a real relationship. I'm gonna get a little sherry in this video because I have an interesting sexual history, and I just think that my experience with this can maybe provide some relief for you if you're one of those people who feels guilty, and also maybe you've overlooked the idea of connecting with people on a short-term basis because you've been afraid of the stigma. Just for a brief history, I did not have intercourse until I was 18, and I actually saved it for one person, and it was magical. I mean, losing my virginity was amazing. But then I married that person, and so I only slept with one person until I was 27. So I didn't have any comparison. I couldn't tell you, what it was like to sleep with different people, feeling-wise or even emotionally, what that would be like. And so when I got divorced and I became, available for that kind of interaction, I really jumped on it and I experienced that connection with a lot of different people. I mean, not like astronomical, but I didn't really hold myself back. If it felt right in the moment, then I went for it. And it's funny because it was mostly with people I'd known for a really long time, and so I felt really safe. Since I'd only been with that one person, I didn't really ever have the distinction between, fucking and making love. Because for the most part, I'd always made love. Now, there was one instance in my marriage, pretty much the last time that we ever had sex, that I felt the difference. I felt shut off here, and only my physical sensations were really registering. And that felt very different from what we had been doing the previous 10 years. So the difference between making love and fucking was very apparent to me after that situation. And I have to say, I really didn't care for it. For me, I felt completely shut off. My heart was not engaged. I wasn't affectionate during that. It was simply for physical pleasure. Probably, similar to the way that you eat after you're full. If you've ever done that before, you just keep eating and it doesn't feel good. It doesn't, really taste good. You're just eating. And that's basically what I equate to fucking, which not fun for me. So I didn't really do it again. And even during some of these one-night encounters with people, I always felt integrated. So I never just went for the sexual pleasure. I went for the whole pleasure of connecting with someone and caring for them and being in love with them for that night. And it doesn't mean that I wanted to continue things and that I became attached, but you can be integrated in a situation that only lasts for an hour or two. There's nothing to say that you can't be fully present and then go your separate ways. And for me, that's basically how I did it, except there were a few that maybe I wouldn't have done again, and which pretty much involved alcohol. But for the most part, that's how I went about it. And the people that I was with really took notice, which was interesting. One of the first people that I ended up sleeping with after I got divorced was this guy that I'd known for a while, and he made the distinction. Like, we had sex one night and then I went our separate ways, and he called me a couple days later and he said, that wasn't fucking, that was making love. And I thought to myself, wow, that's really interesting. And that's when I realized I was doing something different than most people. Right? I'd made the distinction for myself in my marriage when I experienced that one night of being disconnected, but I wasn't sure how other people did it because I'd never done that before. And knowing that, finally getting the validation of like, okay, not everyone brings love to the table when they're having these affairs, and there's nothing wrong with doing it. It enhances everything, makes everything much more pleasurable, and it doesn't automatically mean that you're going to be attached and want to be with them again. I know a lot of people feel really guilty about this. In fact, somebody that I know very well had a one-night stand in college and then was calling the next day asking if she was a good person. And that kind of broke my heart because this person is such a beautiful soul, wouldn't hurt a fly. And why do we feel so badly about feeling good? I think sex is just so hidden in our society and it's not celebrated for what it really is. I had a group encounter that was even more amazing than these singular encounters that I had. It was with 5 people and it just spontaneously happened after a birthday party. And not everyone had sex with each other, intercourse. Sometimes we just would kiss around and put our arms out, if you know what I mean. But it was amazing and I felt so much love between everybody. And I'm pretty sure they felt it too. And it was just a way of coming together with like no judgment, just total experience, total bonding. And I'm sure it's a night that none of us will forget. And I don't know why that's not like a normal part of society. I was always very sexually aware as a child. I kissed, I don't know how many people when I was in high school, but I waited on the sex thing. And then going to experience the fact that it's wonderful with more than one person. It's wonderful with one person at a time. There's really no limit to what you can experience as long as you're keeping yourself safe, obviously, and approaching it with the sense of love. Now, if you're wondering how you can love a stranger for a night or doesn't it take time, love really comes from within. And when you are in love with life, when you're enjoying yourself, when you're bringing your whole being to the table as much as you can, then you're going to attract people that are doing the same thing. And then it's really easy to share that moment. And it's easy to go into it with an understanding that it's going to be a moment. And it's amazing how many situations I found myself in where that was the case. You know, we all think that there's just a world full of weirdos out there, but honestly, if you change your vibration and you approach the world with that kind of openness and high standards for yourself, you'll find people who are doing the same thing, and it'll be magical, it'll be wonderful. So I hope this was informative for you, and I hope that you'll really maybe fantasize a little bit about what it is you've been holding yourself back from because of fear or guilt or shame even. Shame is really big. I'm lucky that I got to experience this stuff at a point in my life where I felt good about it, and so that I didn't get wrapped up in the whole shame spiral. But if you maybe experimented younger and you're carrying a lot of that negative baggage, feel free to let it go. Right? Just because you did something that other people categorize as shameful doesn't mean you have to carry the shame. You can actually give that back, lovingly of course, and then continue on with your life and make your own decisions from a place of wholeness. So you can approach any sexual situation integrated with all of your chakras present. You're fully in the moment. You can even go into a situation and not want to be there anymore and completely stop the situation. So you are the one that's in control here of how you feel, of who you partner with, of how you partner with them, of the expectations of whatever it is you're doing, of the follow through, and all of that. So don't ever feel like you need to go through any kind of prescription for any of this. You are the one in charge. So just pay attention to your feelings and be honest. Honesty and communication is like the biggest thing that you want to think about when you're thinking about sex, because that way your partner is on the same page with you. Some people are less able to have a sexual encounter and then go on their merry way. They're going to expect more from you at the outset. And so from the beginning, it's probably best to be clear, like, yes, I'm into this for an evening, but I'm not interested in a relationship. You can say that. You really can. And I've said that many times in the past, and it's worked out just fine. You always want to err on the side of honesty and over communicating so that you feel good about the situation and you can relax. Because sex when you're not relaxed is probably not going to be very fun. So I hope this was helpful. I hope that you can look back on your past or even on your future with a little bit more open-heartedness so that you can have more experiences that bring you joy with less shame and less guilt. And if you have any more questions that you want me to answer in the Why Do We Limit Love series, let me know. I love making these videos for you. And give this video a thumbs up if you like it, and give me a comment. Has this ever happened to you? Have you ever had a love-making session with a stranger? All right, lots of love. Bye-bye. Thank you so much for watching. If you're new to intuitive art and you've never done it with me, go to intuitiveartacademy.com for your free class. You'll learn how to have a conversation with your higher self in 3 easy steps. That's intuitiveartacademy.com. And if you're already a pro or you've done the free class and you want to learn more about creating abundance from your purpose, go to workyourpurpose.com and you'll watch a free video series all about what it takes to create a purposeful income from doing what you love. All right, enjoy, and I will see you later. Bye-bye.